Hey guys, and welcome to the very first video experience of the Vidatainment Podcast on our new YouTube channel. I highly encourage, if you guys are actually listening to this on the audio version, to check us out at Vidatainment Podcast on YouTube. In today's episode, we're actually interviewing Anita. Anita is a very profound and spiritual being that I had a beautiful privilege of meeting, and I knew the moment that she handed over her sticker business card of her brand, her movement, her company, Alkemy Kitchen. I said to her, I want to interview you. And little behold, it actually ended up happening. In this podcast episode, we actually go very deep. I feel like we actually had a good opportunity to tap in to the subconscious mind of her inner child and found out why she does what she does. Because as healers of the community, there has to be a journey within the healing of ourselves before we can be there and present for the rest of the world. So without further ado, I sincerely hope you guys get to enjoy this podcast episode. Please check out Anita on all her social medias. They will be in the description below in every single venture and media that I post this podcast in. And I am pretty new to all this, so I really would appreciate a like, a comment, a subscribe, and hopefully we can definitely grow all together and learn, heal, and expand our knowledge, because this world is full of wonder, and why not get to learn a little bit together.
Hi family, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. If not, I'm sending all of my love and energy out to you and out to your family as well. Thank you for always staying on point with yourself, providing yourself with what you need and in your practice. I really do appreciate it, and as we improve in ourselves, we can be able to share that and have these frequencies and energy run out and ripple through. And how Vivian and me met and everything was so beautiful, and that's what it is. It's just energy attracting energy. And yeah, my name's Anita, and I came to LA for business. However, however, along the way, I didn't even know I was going to start Alkemy Kitchen. So I started my own business, which is the production and creation of a space, a sacred space where I could provide healing, and in a very intentional and using all of my my heart, my passion, and my own transmutation. That's why it's called Alkemy Kitchen. So that came about because in all of your scientific experiments out here in this earth, we come to consciousness and awareness that we are our own scientist, and we're constantly experimenting and transforming and changing to whatever vision suits you. At the end of the day, we create our own reality, and that's the simple truth. I only came out here in like community healing home, and they opened the doors to me, and I went to my first show there. Sound healing was beautiful. That was like my first time being in a space in a community where like-minded individuals met and co-created together. And I started to bring my food there, sharing it with the community for free, and I got really good reactions out of it, and I was like,
how can you not?
So thank you.
It's so beautiful. It's like it's more than just it's not just items put together. It comes in the message. It shows community. It represents intention, and I can see that. And you guys need to check out all the socials, which will be provided in all the descriptions in any platform that you may find. But just please continue.
Oh yes, most definitely. And I was like, yo, I like it, and I've been involved in the chef world since I was a little girl, since I was a little kid. That was my passion. My vision was like me, you know, a small young child with a chef hat and in the kitchen making a mess and everything, and just having fun with it and creating something that I could easily transfer my energy to, and really learning. This has all been a learning experience, and how to actually harness my own energy to actually be able to transfer it very, very intentionally to the food groups and as I create as well. And it's been awesome, to be honest. It's been awesome. And then from there on, I decided to invest in myself and invest in the business. And I got my banner, I got my tables. You know, we find solutions. And when we ask, we shall receive. And all manifested, all these items manifested. And the vision and everything, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go out and set up, you know, on my own, one man show, you know, like, I got this.
Woman show.
I got this, you know, like, it's that's what it is. You just stand up and you go, right? And with so much purpose to actually have a space of sacredness and just pure light, and everything else sheds away, because the vision is a big long table with all family, with all community, and really honoring God, Jah, universe, and that purity that we came here with. And all that we came here is this is an earth school. So
wow,
to just
first time I've heard that.
right?
Yeah.
Like, just to learn our lessons. Yes, we're here, we're enjoying, we're doing all of these manifestations. However, the real reason that we're here is to shed our pre-notion concepts of ourselves. So honoring that in the table, honoring stillness, silence, and love, heart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
Thank you. Wow, you essentially just answered a good amount of questions I had, which is amazing, because I know we talked about this, like
right.
how our conversation would just flow, right? And that's how we do. We flow.
That's how we flow.
We flow.
Most definitely. Yes.
And you know, we were having kind of getting to know each other prior to this, and it's been a very interesting experience, because you know, we all have a story to tell, right? And through the lens of every individual is the perception of the world. And so I'm curious, because I feel like there's many routes that one can take when we decide to you know, do many things, because you know, you shared a couple of your gifts, the way that you present yourself to the world. Now, like, when it comes to your childhood growing up, you know, I'm just curious, were you raised around a very communal environment, or, you know, is this something that you feel like the world deserves, and, you know, why not, like, connect with individuals that, you know, want to share that same experience, because that's something that we lack, especially right now where things are, like, that's what people are really, really looking for. Deep community, belonging, connection, you know, and getting back to the roots. So could you share a little bit with me about your, you know, upbringing, and maybe how that has influenced the way that you navigate through life and share those experiences with others?
That's very interesting, because earlier today I was just thinking about how I'm the one asking the questions, and nobody has asked me.
Welcome.
You know, you know, this is a very good interview. You know what you're doing out here. Okay, so growing up, my parents had us very young. So it's me and my twin brother, fraternal twin. So we basically were raised with my grandmother, and then like our nanny, which we considered mom, because she was a very, very big part of my childhood and infancy growing up. Yeah, so I'm just trying to put everything together, and you took me there. So yeah, so I feel like I had different mothers in my life and different types of environments. I was always very sensitive to energies and to perceiving what is in the human behavior scape, like psychologically. And it was interesting. It was interesting growing up, in terms of the kitchen and community and all of that. It was very sporadic. And I really enjoyed the times where it was just the four of us, like mom, dad, my brother and I. And that's what I'm trying to, I guess, recreate in a sense. That sacredness, that connection without any misinformation, if that makes sense. Like, a person might show that they're happy and they're, integrated and all of this, but deep down, that there's something is wrong right there, right? And the way they raised us, they again, I said, like, they were young parents, and we were raised by my grandmother, and she's called, well, we call her Mama Livier. Livier. Yeah, her name's Livier.
Practice your R's, everyone. Livier.
Very beautiful too. Yes, that woman taught me love. Yeah, she really, very, very sweet woman. Very, very sweet woman. And, well, my grandma is always grandma, but right now I consider, like, I could say that she's like my mom, but with my mama Livier, it was like every day, like we was out there with her. Yeah, and there was brothers and sisters that we consider brothers and sisters, and we were playing around, and it really taught me what it could look like, what a family dynamic could look like, right? And growing up and everything, there was a lot of people, like, living in my house, so there wasn't, like, there's always favors that, family that needs refuge at their, at our house. So we always had extra, I consider it now extra weight, because my parents didn't give themselves that opportunity to actually be one collective, because they were always trying to reach out and help everybody else, but they didn't help themselves and create that space and time for the important aspects of what makes a family and connection. Well, to my perspective, I've been learning and putting two and two together for my own personal view. I mean, your family could be different, so yeah, I just, in terms of frequency and vibration, I let myself be guided by that. So yeah, it was mostly energy. So yeah, and within that, I started to, like, pick up, like, what is quality within the family dynamic.
Oh yeah.
So
You're like,
yeah, it took a lot of work. Mama, you know what I'm saying. It took work. And me and my brother, like, my twin brother, like, not really close, and, like, we So what it is
Interesting how that happens, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you, but we can talk about that as well.
Yes. So, the parents' reflection is, and we were male and female, so that reflection of that relationship just passed on to us. Things that they didn't, handle on their own. Our relationship became that, like me and my brother. So, yeah. I'm not really close to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
it's okay.
yeah.
When it comes to family, I think there's something beautiful that you mentioned. The fact that, your family was always opening up their doors to others. And I've seen dynamics like this. And what ends up happening is that it's almost like a really big wave. The more you try to give, sometimes you just spread yourself so thin, right? And as you were mentioning, some parts of your life, like having more like that core, because I think we all try to find some kind of family within us. And then if we can't find it, that unity, right, within our own current environment, we try to outreach it. And I think it's beautiful because with my life, like, family has always been super, super important, and I've fought for it and done everything I could to hold on to the dear life of it. And sometimes you realize that you have to let be so it can come back around when it's ready, and that's kind of hard, but that allows us to put our attention and energy in places that we can find different types of families, right? Because as earthlings, we're all composed of the same material, right? In the end of the day, we're all breathing the same oxygen, depending on where you are in the world, right?
Got that right.
We're all breathing similar oxygen. We're all around similar frequencies, and we're vibrating together, So when you learn, hey, this is a place where I belong, and it's amazing that you've created that, and you're flowing deeper into that. And I think with a lot of things nowadays, as we're all trying to find new communities, growing deeper into communities, and finding independence in oneself, so we know what we're bringing somewhere, because that's
a very important point
so,
right there,
so
baby.
essential. I always have this belief of walking out of a room a better place than when you found it, Yes,
Preach.
yes,
You
yes.
said it right. You said it right.
And I feel like that's something that I definitely sense from you, and the energy you've brought, and the more community that surrounds itself looking and seeking similar ideals. So thank you just so much for sharing. I know that's a very vulnerable place to share from, and I think it's a good reminder to all of us that we are all humans, and no matter how many wrinkles we have from smiling, right? They may have multiple layers of dried tears, right? From beautiful and not so beautiful moments. So I want to kind of push forward into progressive thought here, and I want to know, because sometimes what we're doing now is because of a reason. So I'm going to ask you, what was that defining moment for you where you're like, I am taking action? This is my life. Because if you haven't had it now, then it will come. And if you have had it, maybe you've had it once and it's coming a second wave. Where do you see the future of Alkemy Kitchen?
Very progressive question you have there for me. The future of Alkemy Kitchen lies within that crunch, within that flavor, within that sauce. The constant alchemization of Alkemy Kitchen itself. Vision is quality. Quality on everything. Quality in my practice that I'm mastering each day, to bring to you the energy quality, the healing properties that I am transferring to the food. If my chakras are aligned And if all of my energy centers are open to receiving and to giving, and in a constant with the universe and the unity, the food will be reflected as so. And as such, you will feel also those effects as well within you. And any blockages that you have sitting with the food, and I will develop mantras as well to activate the chi of the food, so it could go with it as well. I'll give you that tool as you ingest and, transfer that energy into you, so you can transmute yourself. That's the vision. And I'd like to see myself in a private area where the community around the world, our family, our brothers and sisters, can actually reach out, and I could show up at their house. And now it's a whole event, and they have me there as a facilitator of the energy, serving as well, and giving the whole. I don't want it to just be a plate of food. I want it to be an experience, a whole environmental change in your home, whether it's at a picnic. I'm really manifesting all of those creations, and it's not only going to be me, it's going to be with family members now. Mm-hmm. Because we found our community out here, and the networking game is on a whole other level, and it's only love, and sharing that same vision, and being with individuals that can hold that presence long enough, hold and respect the presence of God within everything. And that's what we do with Alkemy Kitchen. Every presence, every ingredient, everything is alive. And working with those energies and knowing what ingredients help what chakra, so the chakras are connected to the endocrine system, which is in their own right, they're brains of their own. So the glands, the liver, the heart, the digestive system, it's a brain in itself. And those systems create hormones, and those hormones affect our whole, even our cognition, our thinking patterns, our heartbeat, how we receive and digest this dimension. So within that, just bringing that knowledge into the table as well, and really being about it and getting deep. And I'm getting, as I said, alchemizing my own, the knowledge that I have, and going in deeper with the endocrine system, the body, to really know what and why, and in the pot, what's going in the pot for what.
What is his purpose?
Right.
What is his purpose? Love it.
Right.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm wondering, who are some of the inspirations in your life? Like, what inspires you? What do you watch? What do you see? What anchors you in this world to navigate us? Because I think a lot of our heroes, a lot of the things that we are inspired by, really do dictate how we present ourselves towards the world. It's like an extra added filter. And I'm curious because, if we want to attract similar energies, it's always inspiring to know, hey, like, what's up, girl? Who you look up to? Where have you been watching? Where have you been on the YouTube scale of things? Right. Most definitely, I've always, in terms of vision and looking up to another individual, I only see what can be created and possible. So what are my goals while I'm watching that person? What am I going to get out of it? And how do they move and interact with the presence, with this current paradigm and realm? I look for individuals that have this going on the path of disintegrating their ego. So what I mean by that, what it looks for me in my perception and my perspective,
scope is someone that is a pure energy light source. Like, they are aligned. So like I said before, I'm really driven by energy, and that was one of my survival mechanisms when I was younger. So it is really heightened. And now that I've been in my practice and been, harnessing and really getting educated about it, it's been wonderful. It's been doing really, really great work for me in terms of finding potency and quality within the people and the truth that they hold within themselves. So a clear channel back to the people that I envision and receive as very, very aiding when I need to be. It's Bentino Massaro.
Bentino Massaro.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave the link. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, he really speaks in terms of, in a plane of mathematics, in a plane of, yes, these are words and everything, but it's really cut through all of the extra emotions or anything, and he puts them in the right spaces and boxes, right? However, if you add this, you know what I'm saying, like a rubric of everythingness. And I really do. I was already on that. I just needed to refine it. So he helped me a little bit with the refinement. Early in my spiritual journey, which started in 2017, I watched Teal Swan and Infinite Waters. So those were my go-tos to decipher. Teal Swan really touches on the psychological aspect of things, which I appreciate. And Infinite Waters, he's also a psychologist, I believe. So I've been drawn to that type of energy, and I've since I was a child, I've been interested in psychology, and in really figuring out why people are the way they are, and their reactions, their behaviors, just the pattern, and it's so interesting to me, the anatomy and the brain, and it's amazing to me, right? So I went that route, and just picking up what works for me, because I can't really put out a system for everybody, because I might be your reflection. However, I've risen myself up in different experiences and used different survival tactics, However, whatever serves in the moment and when we're ready, most definitely.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
I think as we collect information, it tends to either sit until it's needed, and our brains are so powerful that they can collect like so much information, and then whatever is not needed is not retained, but information that is meant for you, that you maybe subconsciously or intentionally said, hey, I'm seeking out this piece of truth, or the seek of knowledge, or this factual evidence, and then later down the line it all connects, right? So that refinement is huge. It's huge. I get you. Mm-hmm. I do. I think psychology is so fascinating. A fun fact about me, and I've shared this with other guests on my podcast, that I went through a whole 7-year journey in and out of mental hospitals. So
how long?
7 years.
Okay.
So the whole mental health world is very, very it's right. It's one of my main shields, because advocating mental awareness is so important, and being able to face that and know that it's a never-ending journey. No matter where you are now, like everything you've previously experienced has brought you to that moment, and you have the power to not fall back to those frequencies.
And even there in those facilities, they give you a lot of tools.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a lot of tools.
You get to choose the tools.
Right. I was actually this was only a year of my life recurring therapies after that year. Yeah, I learned a lot. But there was one point where I was like, all right, I'm ready. And I asked my therapist, I was like, so when do you decide when I'm ready? Or who tells you that I don't need you no more?
Do I get a text?
Right, like, what's up?
Bird comes to my window.
And one time I was like, all right, I don't need this person in my life. So I was like, oh, yeah, there is those moments where previous lessons, these seeds have been, you've been watering these seeds. And now this is time to flourish.
Yeah.
And just go for it.
Yeah.
And that has been, it doesn't happen like, it happens very fluidly for me. However, that fluidity does not mean that it's a straight line. It's not.
Misconception.
It is
it's
not
a straight line. I agree.
It's a webbing of everythingness, and when it's ready to integrate and like connect. And okay. And now it's like,
wow.
Yeah.
No aside, you really don't need substances to have an amazing time, by the way, because I can envision everything you are saying right now so vividly with such a creative thought, and it's a conversation that's bringing this creativity in my brain right now, which I really do appreciate. I love it. So, wow. Okay. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. There's so much I think a lot of people can really take from this conversation, whether it's the healing, whether it's the knowledge, whether it's some resources, whether it's the inspiration, the knowing that we all are rooted to some reason, and to think intentionally of how we bring ourselves to the world and how we learn to create those communities around us by manifesting our truth and bringing truth to the table. And it all depends how we played it, and it all depends the intention we have behind that plating. So I feel like we can come to a pretty lovely conclusion here, but I want to know, is there any, I know we've been in flow, is there any question you feel like maybe I missed out on, anything that you would like to just share openly, just something on your mind? The floor's all yours, darling.
Oh, most certainly. Thank you. Thank you. I will take it. I just want to have this space to be in gratitude for this unification of the minds and the unification of the community and the collaboration. And most definitely with Alkemy Kitchen and the food, I definitely want to play a big role in that and bring everybody together. And for everything that we preach, we have to apply. And if we're in unity and we're co-creating this reality together, it is already done.
Bring to the table.
Right. The community is really, really talented, and putting our minds together and really creating systems that are provided by the people, for the people, that right there is what we want to create. It is already done, as I said, because in our practice we find unity that will be reflected in the external world as well, and we shall treat each other as so. One point is, what is that light, that alignment for you? What is that love? What is love for you? There's a lot of help. Yes, there's a lot of help. But what you're seeking isn't here. It's the internal. Money does not make us. We make the money. We make the worth. Worth, external worth, we cannot consume it because that is not ours. That needs to go back into the universe. We are the worth. We are the worth that creates worth. We are the abundance that creates abundance. And just sharing that with my family and with our brothers and sisters, and really holding space in a non-judgmental, sacred space and zone with our own energy, electromagnetic energy waves. That's what we need to. Compassion for everybody's, they're looking through the looking glass. We're looking at the same thing, but everybody's looking from different directions. And that is fine, because we're all going to return back into source. And everybody is perfect in their own right, in their own lessons, in their everything. Just cultivating that love and harmony within all of our energies, right? And creating something beautiful in unity, creating something marvelous that we could share with the world. That's what it is. And it starts with us. And sometimes you're not going to be, very willing to do certain things and all. Do not stop. Because
don't stop.
Patterns in the sand, we can make lines. But if you stop, then there is no more rippling. There is no more continuation of your creation, your manifestation, your vision, your waves. So we'll keep each other in check with love, with all of us in our practice, and to create the highest of quality of life for we okay, but it's for the children, for our seeds, and really creating that space in a safe sanctuary, and that's the main vision and purpose.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who dared to open up themselves in this very, very deep podcast episode. And this audio experience that you may be listening to, you may be visually seeing this, but I know in the end of the day, we're all feeling it. This is a feels episode. And I'm just so thankful for this entire moment. Thank you for, intentionally coming out here and, making this happen, and everything that we set our mind to does become, and it's already done, as you've said, so as we continue to move forward, I'm so excited to just see all your manifestations just rise and really build into a whole empire of love and community and growth and all the extra blooming flowers and everything that's going to come out of it, and the new ecosystems and environments are going to be created and just emerged and explored and spread, because that's true presence, that's true abundance, and that's true to who we are. And I believe our true purpose is to share and connect and just pass it along.
Yes.
Share, connect, love deeply, and pass it along. And with all that said, just thank you, and you guys definitely stay tuned to the very next episode. We may be on for a second part two.
Okay.
Part two. Who knows where we will be?
Right.
Who knows where we will be in the next setting?
Camping. Who knows?
Oh, there might be gigantic trees behind us. Please
tune in next.
Please, what is it? Wink twice if there's a bear.
That's right. Me taking precaution, okay? And thank you, Vivian, for everything, for making this happen, for reciprocating the love and bringing me out here to this beautiful escape. This is very, very just magical, honestly. And I really do appreciate you and the work that you've done throughout your whole life, and everything that you went through. You are here. You're here. That made you, and I'm very, very proud of you, and I appreciate you so much, because I am super excited to see your growth, and I'm super excited, your manifestations and everything that you're tapping into, and all that you're putting to yourself right now. the attention that you're giving, the love, it's reflected in all of your creations and endeavors. Mm-hmm. You have water to give to those seeds. And I see that. And you're doing it. And you're doing it, Mama.
So much love.
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, dude. Please make sure to check out Anita's Instagram. That is Alkemy Chef and Alkemy Kitchen _ in Instagram. There you will find her beautiful platters as she awaits for the right moment to truly embark in her journey. I believe with all sincerity that everything will absolutely align for her, which is why I was so thankful to have such an embraceful podcast episode with her. If you guys definitely enjoyed today's episode, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe. If you guys are listening to this on any of the audio versions only, if you guys have a way of giving us a review, that would be absolutely beautiful. I really do appreciate you all, and I will see you and hear you and tap in to your own experience of the Vidatainment Podcast episode.